I grew up obsessed with monster tamer games or monster collection games like Pokemon, Monster Rancher, Dragon Warrior Monsters, Beyblade, if that counts. This was the genre that inspired me so much in my life and still does to this day. Every time I see an image from Digimon or something, I have this wild sense of nostalgia. So during COVID, I decided to sit down and invent my own pocket collection universe of characters. And this is the website that you're looking at right here, and it's called Squad Island. And if you go down, I was super proud of this, but this actually video probably delves into more of a personal conversation of meaning in general. But this is the squad bots. If you click it, there's 104 of these, and they're all based on a certain emotion. So it's like, I have Ben the Brave Martian, which is the first book I wrote with this collection. So if you click any of them, like sympathetic, it goes to his name, and it's Safari the Sympathetic Guide. There's a little bio, and then it has like a little card where it's like emotion, ability, zone, and then if you want to explore more squad bots, it takes you back to that page, or you can explore the area in which they live, where it's like explore more Squad Island. And then you have a page of Squad Island, and it's 8 or 10 different zones, and if you click the zones, there's a little bio. I need to actually come up with more pictures for each zone, but as you can tell with the artwork, it's much different than a Pokemon. It's super flat, and this art style was actually more inspired when I visited Korea and I saw BT21, and I thought, hey, I'm not the best artist, but I think I am okay with design, and I think I could actually create characters based off just creating flat images, because I'm older now and I don't really feel like going through the process of learning shadow and shading and all these things, but it's also it's much more Asian to do flat design in general, and I like the idea of my art style being closer related to my Korean side, since I'm Korean American and I was raised in America. Now, why am I even making this video? The truth is, I don't know what to do with this brand. Like, I invented this wild world where there's 104 characters, 10 zones, and then even if you go to the shop, there's like all these products. There's 4 children's books that I wrote and illustrated, and they're all like really simple, like children's book stories. It's not like, it doesn't delve into the universe or the background of the characters or anything like that, which is what I think I originally wanted to do. But I think I made children's books because it felt more practical. It was kind of like, I did all this work, and I want there to be like a universal reason for people to buy something from this brand, so I might create children's books that would be appealing even if you didn't know the brand. But part of me doesn't regret it. Obviously, I think writing it, I mean, that's such a cool thing that I was able to do. But really, what I would want to do is focus more on design in general, focus more on building a way to make these characters more collectible. But these are some of the shirts that I made recently, and like, I'm really proud of how this one looks. I think it looks really, really cool. And if I could stick with sort of the design element and keeping it more authentic to myself, I think I would enjoy it a lot more. I even have like free activities. If you go to here, you can just like download these free coloring pages. I'm going to add more there. And then even if you go to the guides, I actually have more of these written. I just have to put them on the website because this whole thing is quite a process. I do all this myself, but if you click like this guide, it's like how to be miserable. And then you just have a comic strip that I made that gives you real good insight on how to avoid being miserable on a consistent basis. Now, I am super motivated by the documentaries right now of Hayao Miyazaki and the Imagineering documentary, and my brain always goes to, oh, the thing that I ultimately should be doing is like creating worlds and writing stories and inventing characters and doing more design. But I think in this day and age, it's very hard to do it and make a living. You know, I spent so much of my life doing one thing that didn't really compound, like the skateboarding YouTube thing. It paid well, but it wasn't like something that was super sustainable in the long run. I couldn't have it can't funnel me money to do something else. Like, it's a full-time thing. So then I started leaning into this, and I started selling some books here and there, but it was not near enough for me to carry forward, especially with, you know, a wife and kids. So I leaned back more into doing YouTube the way I was doing it. So as funny as this sounds, part of the reason for making this video is I thought, I'm not the kind of person who reaches out to people. I don't ask for help. I don't do any of that. I never have. And I think that's been my biggest limitation in life. So this video right now, also this How Are You Feeling poster, I'm pretty proud of this one. If you click it, it's all the characters, and it's just, yeah, it has like the feeling mentioned below. So kids are obsessed with this one. Like my kid, she'll just point at it all day, which I think is really cool and really cute. But I wanted to ask you, how do I make these characters collectible? How do I make them feel like I'm getting closer to that Pokemon type feeling. And I know that a big part of it is like, yeah, creating a story. If I actually took the time to write out a story that people gravitated towards and liked, but we're in this weird age where social media is everything, right? So like even while I'm doing this, I'm trying to think of how do I create the content that promotes this as I'm creating it. So like everything has like so many layers now to where in the past, maybe you get signed, you get lucky, you get signed by someone, and then everything you make, they just funnel it out to their entire audience. And with me, I have never seen such little transition from like the skateboard audience I made to the people who care about this. Like I felt like literally no one cared about this at all. Also on the home screen, you can just filter through them. I feel like that's a really cool thing as well. So I also learned a lot about making websites. Like I did all this to learn all this, and this is all in my free time, and I'm so proud of this, and I love this so much. But it's weird when you have something like this that, you know, you feel like, oh, this would be a cool thing for people to see consistently and like it barely gets any traction or visits or anything like that. And I'm like, I just want to build a bigger and bigger world. And, you know, I think I have a very loony creative brain, but it's matched just as heavily with a pragmatic, almost like entrepreneurial brain of trying to think of the logical way of doing things. And I actually think they're not helping each other in this case. Like I think this has been a real struggle for me. So I guess the question that the reason I want to include people as well is because I think it would be fun. Like I think if I started having elements of the world be built out and it was like almost created by other people or people's ideas, to me that just seems so fun and cool and interesting. But if you like how the characters look and you're like, oh, this is such a vibe, how would you want to collect them? Is it trading cards? Is it something digital that I could do? Is it just a good story that you would like to read where it's like actually an authentic story of me fleshing out the world? Because I do have a really fun story built around this with like visiting the island or seeing these characters pop up in the real world and trying to like intercede reality in these characters in a really fun way to where it's almost like street art. Like you see them in real life and you're like, whoa, because that feels almost more in line with my skateboard side. So yeah, if you can figure out any way to make these characters collectible or anything about these that you're like, you have a good product, but this is what you could do with them, that'd be really cool. I just did the weirdest sniffle ever. I have a cold right now. Somebody reached out to me and they were like, oh, just do NFTs. I'm like, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I've had friends who went down that rabbit hole and I think they literally made millions, which is insane. But I'm like, I don't want to kill it, right? Like I think that kills any legitimacy that a brand has. It makes it so like slimy feeling. But yeah, I'm literally just making this video to show off my world that I've spent years on this, but it's not like a full-time thing. I'm not like literally every day showing up, but like I'll spend like, 5-10 hours a week on this trying to make things and flesh things out. And it's been such a journey and it's so fun, but yeah, I just can't think of the practical side of it. And I would love any help out there. So if you're someone out there who has any idea or something about this excites you and you're like, ooh, I wish you had this, please let me know down below. And thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the videos on this channel because right now I'm uploading whatever I want, whatever comes to mind. All right, thanks so much. Take care.